Hello, good morning everyone. So today we will be continuing our discussion on strategies for competitive advantage. So if you remember in our last class we had discussed about the concept, finished the discussion on gastrology, then the concept of preparing, the concept of implementing, and the concept of understanding the strategic groups was discussed. So which are nothing but to identify the set of companies within the industry which share the same or highly similar competitive attributes like price, quality, availability. These are some of the attributes, and in order to make them, in order to prepare them, and in order to understand them, what is the biggest advantage of doing that is to identify your core group of competitors, is to identify your far competitor, and in order to identify your probable or near future competitor which may arrive in the scenario in a long term basis. The attributes includes pricing practices, level of technologies used by various people, various companies, investment and leadership style also can be attributes, product scope, the use of product in different parts, and scale capabilities. For example, why I am saying about this is to identify your current competitors as well as your potential competitors. Who would have imagined that the mobile phones today with their highly focused technologically advanced cameras will be replacing the modern day digital photo cameras? Some 10-15 years back there was a market for your digital cameras, but currently if you see, the mobile phones are giving tough competition, and not only giving tough competition but rather they have excelled than the market of digital cameras. So in order to identify all your current as well as potential competitors in future, we need to prepare the strategic groups. Then we had discussed about how to prepare them. We need to identify the competitive attributes on which the map has to be built. Then we need to map the two key attribute variables. What are the very key variables that we are going to take, that we need to finalize. Then we need to identify the size of the revenue earned by the company in order to specify the size in the map. Then we had discussed about the concept by through an example. We have taken the example of retail outlets. If you see in this diagram, there are the two types of variables that we had taken is geographic coverage on the x-axis and price and quality on the y-axis, and we had taken three positions like low, medium and high for both the attributes. So if you see the concept of Walmart, the price and quality is at lower position, and the availability or geographic coverage of Walmart is higher than anybody else. So obviously it was sitting in the rightmost corner of the matrix, and the size of the circle denotes the revenue earned by it in the last year. That gives you an idea about the market size or the revenue generated by that particular company. Now if we go further, another example of strategic mapping regarding the automobile manufacturer, again we can derive quality at one end, y-axis, and x is the breadth of model range. Breadth of model range means how many type of models that a particular company is preparing or offering to the market. So if we are going to do this exercise, we need to make sure that, one second. Okay, fine. We need to make sure that we need to identify the true parameters of dividing the money. So it's a description of various car brands available in USA. Fine. So it includes vehicles like Lamborghini, Rolls-Royce, Subaru, Volvo, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, Holden, Ford, Toyota, Great Wall Motors. Great Wall is from China. Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Holden, Ford, Toyota, Subaru, Volvo, Lamborghini and Rolls-Royce. These are the various car brands available in USA market. So if we want to know our true position, who are our core competitors, who are going to affect our business in the long run, then we need to do this type of strategic mapping for automobile manufacturers. Fine. Now, what will be the key attributes for mapping? If we search the various key attributes that comes in front of us is obviously price. Second one is your quality. Third one is your breadth of model range. Fourth one is their geographic coverage, etc. Amongst them, we will be deciding on two key parameters. What are those two key parameters? At one end, we will be taking the breadth of model range. Breadth of model range means, suppose, let's take the example of Maruti Suzuki India. Maruti Suzuki India produces Maruti vehicles, but how many types of Maruti vehicles that it produces? Currently it has stopped producing the famous Maruti 800, but rest aside, what else they are producing? They are producing Alto, they are producing Wagoner, they are producing Swift Desire, they are producing that Eco vehicle, they are producing Espresso, they are producing Vitara Brezza, they are producing Ciaz, they are producing into any other thing that I can't remember currently. So these are the various models that are being offered by Maruti India Limited. Similarly, quality and performance and this breadth of model range is plotted against three key bases. One is few models, second one is medium models, third one is many models. That company which is having only one or two model with its offering, that is called as a few models. Similarly, like currently the Kia Seltos, it's only offered in India only this Seltos model. In the coming months there are many other vehicles that are going to be offered by Kia Motors, but currently only one model they have launched in India. Similarly, medium models, medium range models and many models. Many models means like Maruti, they are having more than one, more than five, more than 10 number of vehicles, number of types of vehicles to offer to the market. Similarly, quality and performance wise, again there are maybe three positions like low position, medium position and high position. Low quality, few models. Medium quality, few models. High quality, few models. Low quality, medium number of models. Medium quality, medium number of models. High quality but medium number of models. And another scenario may be low quality but many models. Medium quality but many models. And high quality with number of models. Fine. Now, if we see in this diagram, we'll start from the left hand corner. There are 9 positions as we have discussed, because 3 into 3 becomes 9. So matrix, quality matrix 3, breadth of model range 3 positions. So if we put them together into a matrix structure or into a graph, we can get 3 into 3, 9 positions. Brands like Lamborghini and Rolls-Royce, they are very much high in terms of quality, but the number of models that they are offering to the market is very low, very few, only 1 or 2. Therefore, they have been kept in the top left hand side, topmost position, Lamborghini and Rolls-Royce. Opposite to that, low quality but few models. Quality performance wise low, but number of models that are being offered to the market are also less. Great Wall Motors, it's a company from China that also offers low quality product at cheaper price, and that too it has offer only 1 or 2 vehicle types to the market. Similarly, if we see in the middle, medium quality with medium breadth of model range, then we have 2 number of vehicles, Subaru and Volvo. Of course, Volvo is synonymous with safety. Volvo is one of the very known brand in terms of safety is concerned, but apart from safety, other quality parameters are comparatively moderate than brands like Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, etc. Therefore, to be safe on a safer side, we have kept the quality and performance of vehicle brand like Subaru and Volvo at the medium position. Similarly, the breadth of their product range are also kept at the medium range. Then, high product quality with high model range. There comes Mercedes-Benz, BMW and Audi. Do you know the full form of BMW? It stands for your Bavarian Motor Works. So Mercedes-Benz, BMW and Audi, though they are having high quality, high performance, they also have many models to offer. Therefore, they have kept at the right hand side topmost position. Similarly, medium quality with many models. The quality is bit medium, but they offer higher number of vehicles, types of vehicles. They are Holden, Ford, Toyota. Again, you can ask me why is all these oval shapes have different sizes, and because you said that the medium quality performance wise Subaru and medium quality performance wise Holden, the size of the ovals are different and they are not in the same line. Yes, between Subaru Volvo one group and between Holden, Ford and Toyota one group, that is again quality wise Subaru and Volvo are a bit higher than these three, Holden, Ford and Toyota. Who decides it? Of course we decide it, but if you remember in our last class we have written that real time assessment of each position has to be done. Without doing that, we cannot draw the strategic maps. See here. Assess whether or not the differences between each group are meaningful, whether other variables must be selected from which another set of strategic groups can be done using variable like revenues. Fine. So whenever we are preparing a map, we need to do certain points, we need to have certain points, and the points between medium and high has to be divided based on the I can say Subaru, Volvo, Holden, Ford, Toyota are having same type of quality, but they are not. Again, quality wise Subaru and Volvo is superior than Holden, Ford, Toyota, but they may be inferior than the Mercedes-Benz, BMW and Audi. If you see it in particularly the comparison between Mercedes and Lamborghini Rolls-Royce is again higher than the quality of Mercedes-Benz, BMW and Audi. So it all depends on how exactly you have divided your quality parameters. Of course, for a broader understanding, we have divided this quality, performance and into three parameters like low, medium and high. But again, low means I need to categorize it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then medium means 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. High means 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So based on that analysis, you need to actually specify how much is the difference. Whether Lamborghini cannot be same, the quality of Lamborghini cannot be same as the quality of a Mercedes-Benz. It has to be higher. That's their true potential. Similarly, how many models, that also affects. Like few models means 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That comes under few models. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That falls under medium range. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That falls under the medium range. So based upon these things, these strategic groups can be made. Now, next topic of discussion is about competitive changes during industry evolution. Till now, we have covered about product life cycle analysis. Next one that I will be discussing is about industrial life cycle. Industry life cycle is more or less similar to your product life cycle, but we need the stages are almost same but with a different names. So if you see, industry life cycle comprises 4 stages including fragmentation, growth, maturity and decline. If you remember in our product life cycle, there were again certain stages: introduction, growth, maturity and decline. So as we discussed, these are almost same. But why we need to understand this industry life cycle is an understanding of the industry life cycle can help the competitive companies surviving during the period of transition. Many a times the industry goes through different stages. Like for example, when the industry is new, there comes the fragmentation stage. Then the industry holds a growth path. Then it becomes matured. Then it declines gradually. Similarly, if you see the private education sector, I want to give you an example here. Some 20-25 years back, or let's say 25 to 30 years back, there was a huge demand for engineering colleges in a country like India, because that time private engineering colleges were very less in numbers. People were willing to pay extra money to teach their prodigy to engineering degrees, and due to that factor the growth of various engineering colleges all across India was in a high path, it was in a developing path. But gradually what happened, and majority of them were getting absorbed into software sectors. I can give you another example. My friend who passed in 2000 and he became an electrical engineer, but after 2 years when I met him, I asked him in which company he was working. He said that he was working for Infosys in Bangalore. So again I asked you, you are an electrical engineering as far as I know, so how come you ended up doing a software job? So he said that in core engineering departments like electrical, mechanical, electronics, there were jobs but not much in numbers. But in case of your software companies, there were plenty of jobs available. But suddenly, say during the year 2007 and 8, there was a huge downfall in software market happened. Many of our friends, many of our known persons would have lost their jobs as well. And the declining demand in the software sector grew in number. Due to that, people passing out from various engineering colleges in India were getting less number of jobs in comparison to some 20-30 years back. So gradually it affected the whole scenario. If you go through the newspaper last year, there were many engineering colleges in India where more than half, around 70 to 80% seats were remaining vacated, and many of them have shut down due to not getting the sufficient number of students. Why? Because that particular industry has reached to a position of maturity and declining. Because in order to become an engineer and in order to get a job, they are not the same thing. You may become an engineer, but there is no guarantee in today's turbulent times that you will may be getting a job. And therefore, this demand and supply scenario has changed a lot. The demand has reduced, supply is become more, then obviously there is tough competition in the market, and getting a good quality job, highly paid job has become very difficult task. And due to that, the maturity phase of the private engineering colleges and declining stage of the private engineering colleges has started. So, an understanding of the industry life cycle can help competing companies survive during the period of transition. So these are called as the period of transition, the time in which we go from fragmentation to growth, growth to maturity, and maturity to decline are called as your transition period. And understanding this industry life cycle helps in smooth sailing from one position to another position. Several variations of the life cycle model have been developed to address the development and transition of products, market and industry. In order to understand the products, in order to understand the market, and in order to understand the industry, over the years several models have been made. The models are similar, but the number of stages and names of each may differ. Major models include those developed by Fox in 1973, Watson in 1974, Anderson and Jethamal in 1984, and Hills and Jones in 1998. So who are they? They are the social science researchers who have suggested for various models in order to understand the industry evolution, how the industry is going to change, what are the various stages through which normally a industry goes through. Another example that I am going to give you. Let's take the example of car industry, private car industry, or simply say car industry. Some 30 years back or 35 years back, during the late 70s and early 80s, India saw the dream of having a people's car. If you remember, Germany was having their own people's car, the Volkswagen. Volkswagen stands for people's car only. The meaning of Volkswagen in German is people's car. Right? So the rest of it. India started its dream during the late 70s and early 80s period, and from which dream the saga of Maruti Suzuki India Limited started. Before that, only majority of Indians were exposed to only two car brands. One was Hindustan Motors Ambassador and another one was Premier Padmini, the Fiat cars. And Maruti changed the game altogether. Within a period of, let's say, 20 to 30 years, it started its journey in the 1980s. Then well into 90s and 2000 it started its journey, and it's revolutionized the Indian concept of having and owning a car. It offered many best in class features, new features, so that it created, and the market for cars are in a growth stage. But when the government opened our doors for all the global players in the early 90s or mid 90s through globalization, all world class manufacturers also came into Indian market, like Ford came, Hyundai came, General Motors came, everybody else, Toyota came, Honda came, etc. Then what happened? There became huge competition, which is currently also going on. But gradually, the market is becoming saturated. You cannot overnight expand all the roads and all. There has become congestion. There is becoming a huge level of pollution altogether by using so many cars. So gradually, this industry, car industry, is virtually going from the conventional use of petrol and diesel towards electrical vehicles. So currently, it is in a transition phase. If you see this BS4 norms, BS6 norms, before that BS2 norms, BS1 norms, what are they? These are pollution norms. You need to make certain adjustments, certain tuning to your vehicle's engine to use differential technology in your engine, so that your vehicles are going to pollute much less in comparison to what it was doing in BS4 model. That is the whole concept, and gradually the market is heading towards owning electrical vehicles, which will be revolutionizing the industry for a longer period of time. So several variations of the life cycle model. So in order to understand that, there are many models, but the essential elements of all these models are remaining almost same. So this is your industry life cycle analysis, where again two key parameters have taken. One is time and another one is industry output. How many output you are producing and what is the time duration in which you are doing the business. If we put them together, as we have discussed, there are four phases. One is your called fragmentation, second one is sec out or growth, third one becomes maturity, and fourth one is decline. We will be discussing them individually. Now coming to this fragmentation stage. Fragmentation is the first stage of a new industry. This is the first stage. fragmentation. When you are new to the market, your industrial output is also less. That phase is called as your fragmentation. This is the stage when the new industry develops the business. At this stage, the new industry normally arises when an entrepreneur overcomes the twin problems of innovation and invention. When there is a new concept, when there is a new business, when there is a brave heart who comes to the market with a dream, then there are two problems that he solves. One is the problem of innovation and another one is the problem of invention, and works out how to bring the new product or service into the market. See, the difference between innovation and invention is innovation, a product, a service is there, but nobody was realizing its importance, and a brave heart entrepreneur comes in and make everyone realize how important is a service, and you can earn money by doing this business also. Innovation. Invention, an altogether new product. You have invented something new which was previously unheard of, which was previously not there, and you are introducing that product or service into the market. Then, for example, air travel services of major airlines in Europe. I have given you the example of air service companies operating in Europe, how they have changed the market scenario. So, air travel services of major airlines in Europe were sold to the target market at a higher price. So, before say 20-30 years back, in the 80s, in the 70s, air travel was a costlier affair all across the globe, not only in India but in Europe also. Therefore, the majority of airlines customers in Europe were those people with high income who could afford premium prices for faster travel. Of course, if the airfare is higher, then obviously it can be afforded only by the high class people who are ready to give premium prices for traveling faster. But in 1985, Ryanair made a huge change in the European airline industry. Ryanair was one of the company, like we had our Deccan Airways, we had our Indigo Airways, which are normally known as your no-frills airline. No-frills airlines means in comparison to other airlines, they will be offering their seats for a cheaper price. And in order to save money, they will be deducting, they will be cutting down all the unnecessary or all the luxurious things that is being offered by the other players, that we are going to discuss. So Ryanair made a huge change in the European airline industry. They were the first airline to engage low cost airlines. The concept of low cost airlines, like we have our Indigo, like we have our Deccan Airways, they were having their Ryanair. At that time, Ryanair services were perceived as the innovation in the European airline industry. Of course, this is an innovation. It is not an invention, because the use of aeroplanes, the use of air travel was not new. But the concept of your no-frills airlines, similar to this concept of your Airbnb or Oyo rooms, they are called as your fragmentation stage. Whenever a entrepreneur, a brave heart comes into the market to solve the twin problem. Again, I am saying that innovation and invention. So what they did, Ryanair tickets were half the price of British Airways. British Airways was another airline who are a premium airline who was offering its services for higher price, and Ryanair was offering its ticket half of the price of British Airways. Some of its sales promotion were very low. This made people think that air travel was not just made for the rich but for everyone. No frills airline. The same way in India, Deccan Airways changed the concept of low fare air travel. So Ryanair overcame the twin problems of innovation and invention in the airline industry by inventing air travel services that could serve passengers with tight budget and those who just wanted to reach their destination without breaking their band savings. Many of us want to fly to our destination, but we don't have that much of money to travel. So obviously for us, a cheaper air travel company will be sufficient. Ryanair achieved this goal by eliminating unnecessary services offered by the traditional airlines. I may not be saying it as unnecessary but luxurious things. It doesn't offer free meals. uses paper-free air tickets. These are some of the examples how they were saving the money. I may not be giving the meals. I may not be using the paper-based air tickets. Get rid of mile collecting scheme. Utilizes secondary airports. I may not be going to the main airport, but I am utilizing the secondary airport. Offer frequent flights. The number of flights I will increase. Obviously, if you remember the experience curve, then obviously I can reduce my cost in a long-term manner. These techniques help Ryanair save time and cost spent in airlines business operation. This is called as the fragmentation stage, first stage of the industry. Now coming to the second step, sec out or growth is the second stage of the industry life cycle. It is the stage at which new industry emerges. During the sec out stage, competitors start to realize business opportunity in the emerging industry. The value of the industry also quickly rises. See, and why it is called as sec out? Fragmentation means a person comes in, a company comes in into a market, and he or it starts the business which was unheard of, unseen of before. The same example that I gave you is that of Ryanair or Deccan Airways. There were plenty of companies, there were many other companies who were offering air travels at a cost. But these people, they came into the market and they started to offer their services cheaper than the competitors. Though they were new, they were offering their services for cheap prices to mass people. Fine. So what happened? A new concept emerged. In the second step, that is in the sec out step, the competitors, they were also having competitors. Deccan Airways also had competitors. Indigo has become one of the competitors of Deccan Airways. Same thing. So then in the second stage, as the new industry emerges, as everyone sees that yes, okay, he is doing fine, let's try that particular product also or service also, and your competition comes in. The value of the industry also rises. That is called as a sec out stage. And why it is called out as a sec out stage? Many of the competition that is arriving into the scene, they may not last for long also. Because you are new to the market is growing, there is tough competition. Many of the companies can also go out of the market during this phase. Therefore, this is called as a sec out. You are secking the market, you are building a market and you are secking it in order to go ahead. In order to sec it, many of the weak links, many of the non-performing companies may go out of the market. Another example. Many people die and suffer because of cigarettes everywhere, as we know. Thus, the UK government decided to launch a campaign to encourage the people to quit smoking. So, fine. So, in order to save their people from the death related to smoking, the UK government launched a campaign to encourage people in quit smoking. Nicorette was one of the leading company in producing several nicotine products to help people quit smoking. If you remember, Nicorette is the company which produces the chewing gum, which you can chew in order to quit smoking. Some of its well-known products include Nicorette patches, Nicorette gums, and Nicorette lozenges. Smokers began to see an easy way to quit smoking. The new industry started to attract brand recognition. See, there was cigarette industry, and now this anti-cigarette or quit smoking industry was led by Nicorette company. What? They launched their Nicorette patches, Nicorette gums, and Nicorette lozenges. If you have them, you will get a taste of nicotine, so you don't feel to smoke. The new industry started to attract brand recognition and brand awareness amongst its target market. During this sec out stage, Nicorette products began to gain popularity amongst those who wanted to quit smoking or those who wanted to reduce their daily cigarette consumption. See, you cannot overnight quit smoking. So obviously you are going to reduce their consumption on a daily basis. If yesterday I had smoked 10 number of cigarettes, I am smoking 8 number of cigarettes today. Like this, gradually we are going to reduce it, and Nicorette helped all those people who wanted to quit smoking immediately and those who wanted to reduce their daily consumption. During this period, another company realized this opportunity, so here comes the competition, and decided to enter it by launching nicotine product range, including Nicotine gum and patches. This is similar to Nicorette, but another company known as your Nicotine. It recently went beyond UK border after the UK government introduced non-smoking public policy in public areas, including pubs and nightclubs. This business threat created a new business opportunity in the industry for Nicotine to launch a new nicotine-related product called Nicotine. Nicotine is a whole new way for smokers to get a cigarette. An 8-ounce bottle contains lemon-flavored drink laced with nicotine, the same amount of nicotine as 2 cigarettes. Nicotine was first available at Los Angeles airport for smokers who got uneasy on flights, but now nicotine soft drinks are available in some convenience stores. So all things are opportunity. You need to find out the true potential of innovation and invention. If they have stopped the functioning of cigarettes at public places, this was a new company as we have discussed, nicotine. They introduced is electric cigarettes, like 8-ounce bottle contains lemon flavored drink laced with nicotine, or nicotine based soft drinks also they made available. Then comes the maturity phase, when the growth stops, growth becomes stagnated. Maturity is the third stage of the industry life cycle. Maturity is a stage at which the efficiency of the dominance business model gives this organization competitive advantage over competition. No frills airlines was become very famous. No frill airlines were at the growth phase, but gradually as the number of competition increases, the market becomes saturated. The competition in the industry is rather aggressive because there are many competitors and product substitute. Price, competition, cooperation takes on a complex form. Some companies may shift some of the production overseas in order to gain competitive advantage. Fine. So if your number of competition increases, obviously you as a company serving a market and many of your alike serving a market is different thing. So suddenly the market becomes saturated. In that type of scenario, in order to still maintain your position, in order to still gain competitive advantage over the competition, you need to search for new avenues. Here I have given the example of Toyota. Toyota is one of the world's leading multinational companies selling automobiles to customers worldwide. The export and import taxes mean that its car lose competitiveness to the local competitor, especially in the European automobile industry. As a result, the Toyota decided to open a factory in the UK in order to produce cars and sell them to customers in the European market. See, Toyota, in the Indian government may ask the Toyota and open its door and welcome Toyota to come into India. But what does that mean? That doesn't mean that the Toyota has to produce its vehicles in Japan and bring that together to India, because this will involve various export and import tax which will rather increase the cost of the vehicles. So the number of customers that may avail the product will be less. So how to avoid this kind of situation? The Toyota can come here and take a land and open their own factories so that they can serve the market from India. The fashion industry is another good example. There are many Western branded fashion labels that manufacture their product overseas by cooperating with overseas partners. I was telling you regarding these Bangladeshi workers in apparels preparation. For instance, Nike has factories in China and Thailand, as both countries have cheap labor cost and cheap quality materials, particularly rubber and fabric. In Thailand and China, the production of rubber and fabric are comparatively more, therefore the cost of them is also low. However, their overseas partners are not allowed to sell shoes produced for Adidas and Nike. The items have to be shipped back to the US and then they will be exported to countries worldwide, including China and Thailand. But Nike, Adidas companies, they produce their products in countries like China and Thailand where they can get cheap labor cost and cheap quality material. But they cannot sell their product directly from there. They have to be shipped back to the USA, then they will be exported to all the countries including the manufacturing countries also, and they will be sold in order to earn profit. Then comes the declining phase. Decline is the final stage of the industry life cycle. Declining is a stage during which a war of slow destruction between business may develop and those with heavy bureaucracy may fail. Bureaucracy means multi-layered. Bureaucracy means complex organizational structure. All those type of companies, they will ultimately fail in this declining stage. In addition, the demand in the market may be fully satisfied or suppliers may be running out. The demand may be fully satisfied. See, TV manufacturer, the TV market has become saturated. Why? One is there used to be only one TV in every household some 20-30 years back. Due to this again globalization feature, people started to spend. Every business owned used to have their TV in the drawing rooms, in the living rooms. Currently, each of the household are having TV. Almost everyone are having their own TV in the wall in their bedrooms also, so that they can watch them at their convenience. In the stage of declining, some companies may leave the industry if there is no demand for product or service they provide. They may develop new product or service that meet the demand in the market. In such cases, this will create a new industry. For example, at the beginning of the communication industry, pagers were used. If you remember some 30 years back, there used to be pagers. Messages used to come there. That they were the main communication method amongst people working in the same organization, such as doctors and nurses. Thus, the cutting edge of the communication industry emerged in the form of mobile phone. Gradually, it transformed into mobile phones. The communication process of pagers could not be accomplished without telephones. To send a message to another pager, the user had to phone the call center staff that would type and send the message to another pager. See, the technology that the pager was using, if I want to page someone, I want to call the customer care and give them the message. They will be typing and sending to the person who is having another pager. The user had to phone the call center staff, they would type and send the message to another pager. On the other hand, people who use mobile phones can make a direct call or send message to other mobiles without going through the call center staff. In recent, that is the position when the declining phase for your pager started. In recent years, the features of mobile phone have been developing rapidly and continually. Now people can use mobiles to send multimedia messages, videos, take pictures, email, surf the internet, read news, listening to music. As the mobile phone feature development has reached saturation, thus new innovation of mobile phone technology has incorporated the use of computers. So, across all industry, many a times, many positions comes like fragmentation, introduction phase comes, growth or checkout phase comes, maturity phase comes, then declining stage comes. But that declining doesn't mean that it is the end of road, but we need to see it as an opportunity to enter into the market with full force. Like I would like to give you the example of Motorola. When this concept of pager was there, Motorola was the market leader in the pager market. But when they saw the opportunity that the market is going to shift towards using of mobile phones, they were the first player who entered into the mobile phone market, and they literally become successful. Therefore, declining stage doesn't mean that the end of the road for a company. Rather, it should be viewed as an opportunity for the company to offer new solutions to the customer. Okay, so this much for today. We will be continuing from here in the next class. Thank you very much. God bless you all.